Welcome back to Fox and Robin Recording. Today we are going to talk about why we chose the Mac Mini. Okay, so as I've mentioned here, we have a Mac Mini. We have gone completely away from a laptop and we're using a desktop. There's a myriad of reasons why, and I'll kind of get into them here as we go further on. We had a MacBook Pro. We were working on it, worked great. That's kind of the backstory here, is that the MacBook Pro worked great. Had no problems with it, functioned well, it had 512 gig hard drive in it, it had the M1 Pro chip, it had 16 gigs of RAM, screen, everything that you would want. Given it was 16 inches, but it had everything that you'd want in a laptop in a Pro setting. An SD card reader, which doesn't really matter so much to me at the moment, and I'll tell you why. But that's kind of the base of what we had. And it worked out well, and then I got this idea to upgrade our system to a Pro Tools rig, and that's when I was like, you know what, maybe I should get a new computer to go with this, to just kind of future-proof a little bit, and just make sure that I'm connecting things correctly, and that there's not any issues with the MacBook connecting with the HDX card, because I didn't really find anybody who was telling me that I could, and it was just whatever it was. And then I came across a deal. The deal was a Mac Mini. Now it's the base Mac Mini. It's the Mac Mini with the 256 gig hard drive, 16 gigs of RAM, 10 core M4 processor. So far the processor hasn't given us any issues. It's the same amount of cores. Now they're different types of cores. The MacBook Pro had less efficiency cores and more performance cores. This one's kind of flopped. It has more efficiency cores and less performance cores, and that's just a power thing that they're doing. Each core is fine. Actually, the Mac Mini has a faster gigahertz. It's, I think, 4.2, where the Mac Mini or the MacBook Pro is like 3 something. 3.2, 3.4, I can't remember exactly, but it is a little bit faster computer. It's tiny, takes up less space, and when you're in a studio like ours, space is key. Like, you want to use the space that you have to the best, and the laptop was just hard. I did like it. I was able to take a laptop and go sit upstairs and work on stuff, or sit in a coffee shop or here, and maybe I'll work on something like that later. I can kind of do most of the stuff that I do on my iPad. So that's what was the other reason of kind of going away from MacBook. So the Mac Mini showed up, we installed it. It took literally 5 minutes to install everything that I needed. I'm still kind of installing some stuff, but the base programs that I use took us 5 minutes to just install. It took us 5 minutes to plug everything in. We did get a screen, and the screen was bought before the MacBook was even, or Mac Mini was a thing. I was like, I'll use the MacBook as a desktop. But so we have a larger screen, which is nice, but the reasons we're getting into here of why we got the Mac Mini. The Mac Mini, it's got newer ports, so it's got Thunderbolt 4. I believe my MacBook Pro had Thunderbolt 3. So I've got newer ports that are faster, more USB-C, because my MacBook didn't have just straight up USB-C. It had Thunderbolt ports that would work as USB-C. So I got straight up just USB-C ports, just straight up Thunderbolt ports. I've got HDMI, which my laptop also had, but I believe this is HDMI 2.1, which is a little bit better. And then I've got an Ethernet port, which my laptop did not have. Not a huge deal, but those are kind of the 4 big things. And then the size, it doesn't take up that much space. It runs really cool, just like the MacBook did. It has a fan, but I have yet to hear the fan turned on. I've done some video work with it. Nothing. No fan is kicked on whatsoever. My MacBook, the fan really kicked in on it. So I think they've gotten that solution out pretty well. We did a Pro Tools session with it, ran Pro Tools HD on this machine with a card in a chassis. Everything ran smoothly. Once I got the permissions kind of set, I had to go through and tell the security to kind of like stop blocking my hardware. And after I did that, everything was kosher. We were good. So that being said, has it worked well for us? I think so. I think it's going to be our new baseline computer for here in the studio. They're super cheap. They're like $5.99. If I want one for the B room, I can go pick one up for the B room once the B room's built and set that up and have duplicate machines or close to duplicate machines. We'll see. This will be the big room, and then I'll have a little room that'll have just like maybe editing. Like, you won't be able to do any of the plugins that I have here because you'd need the iLok. But you'd at least be able to do some editing, you know, set up interns in there to edit they can take the hard drive in there and edit. I'm working on a system for that. But you're wondering to yourself, Justin, what about the hard drive space? Because the baseline comes with 256, and my laptop had 512. Well, yes, that's a problem, but not a big problem because we are using SanDisk's ProBlade hard drive, which has 4 terabytes, and then I've got another one that has a 2 terabyte T7 hard drive that is a separate drive that has kind of my more when I need to take stuff to places kind of type of drive. But with that, I've got 6 terabytes of space outside of the Mac Mini, so I'm like, okay, all of my libraries and stuff live on those drives anyways, so I don't have to worry about installing these massive libraries to the internal drive. I have had to go through and kind of pick through the software that I'm not using anymore, because I had software on my laptop that was like, I'm not really using that, and I just never uninstalled it. So we'll have to see how this all kind of turns out long term, but for the last week, the Mac Mini's been great. It's been on, it hasn't been hot, the power draw's been good. I like having this size screen. It's a 27-inch Samsung screen. It's been great working on it. Pro Tools worked really well on it. Everything that I've ran on this Mac Mini so far has ran really well. And a lot of people say, oh, it's good for the 90%, And I'm kind of agreeing, 99% of what I've done with it so far has been flawless. So we're going to keep plugging along with the Mac Mini, and those are kind of the reasons why I got it. I got it to kind of update the studio. I updated to get updated ports, a little bit faster machine, something that my laptop, I felt like I had all these weird things hanging out and I didn't like seeing them. Plus the laptop was getting dated. It was almost 5 years old, which is about the longest I want to run a laptop. So it all worked out well, and I think the Mac Mini is going to work for us long term. It's tiny. If we want to take it somewhere, like we want to take it for a production rig, it's so small I can just throw it in a backpack. With a screen, I'm working on getting a mobile screen, those little Asus ones, they're 16 inches, 15 inches, something like that, to take when I want to go do some mobile stuff. Like if I go to, I don't know if I take it to Mexico, but if we go do a local recording somewhere and we want to go record, a live show, we can, with the Mac Mini if we want, or use it as screenplay, we're just going to use this to play something on a big screen. It's going to work out well, I think, for us long term. And I do recommend that you check them out. If you're looking for a new computer and you want to get in the Mac ecosystem, I check out the Mac Mini, because if you're not moving a lot, you're not going a lot of places, or you go from your office to your home, Mac Mini would work well too for something like that. You just, at your office, you have 2 screens set up, or screens and a mouse set up there, and you have a screen and mouse set up at home. You just unplug the Mac Mini, throw it in your briefcase, backpack, whatever it might be, and take it home, plug it in, and you're good to go. And just you can easily transfer that way. It's going to be, I think, more the future of computers as we go forward. I think that's going to be more of a thing, but that's kind of how we feel about the Mac Mini. Is it a great computer for us? Absolutely. Is it good for you? I highly recommend you checking it out. Also, I recommend you hitting that like and subscribe button. I know a lot of people have been watching our videos, and it's fine. Watch our videos. We love it. Our channel's grown greatly. But we've noticed something, that there's a great percentage of you that just haven't hit that like and subscribe button. And if you could do it, it would help us out greatly to grow this channel and take it more forward as we progress throughout the year. And don't forget to go make some music.